It's your host, the man, the myth, the legend, or lack of there, GamingCamperDad, and I'm back with another live stream for the drive home. It was my Friday. I took today and tomorrow off, so I relax, prepare for snowmageddon that's coming in my way. So I can't wait for that. So I got stuff I got to do tomorrow, and I got stuff to do Friday, and I got stuff to do Saturday, and then I got to mentally prepare for the snowstorm that upons us. So yeah, there's all that good stuff. But I'm glad to be back here with you guys, chit-chatting. We're gonna try to wait to see who hops on here and has a nice chat with me about whatever in the world they want to talk about. There's a ton of people out. People buying shit as fast as they can with everything going on. But happy 2026 so far. It's been a interesting one to say the least. And hopefully, don't mind me, I'm popping open a snack. Things are gonna get right as rain. At least we hope. There we go. No, I'm not going there. You leave me a bit. Going home. I'm going home. I'm going home. Tell the world. Going home. Give myself a minute to see who hops on. Talk about the world. It was wild. Holy Lord mercy. Oh, that's bright lights, dude. Don't be freaking, you change your light right in my eyeball. In the 3 and a 2 and a 1 and a go. Oh, baby. Well, I hope somebody's going to get on here and chit-chat with me. Either that, I'm going to start talking to myself, being weird. I know what I need to do tomorrow. Is I got to go and start my stream. Hey, how you doing? How is your Thursday morning going so far? We're going to be talking about whatever we feel like, so feel free to throw out what you want to chat about. We're going to go from there. Hello, Mr. Policeman. What? How's your 2026 going so far, guys? How's everything rocking and rolling? Are you ready for the end of the world? I don't know if I am, but we're all rocking and rolling through it anyway. So mentally prepare yourselves, because it's going to be fucking great. Hi, I'm from North Korea. North Korea? You're from North Korea? Damn, man, you're like the only person with an internet connection there? Shit. My brother, run for the hills. Cross that border. Seek freedom in South Korea. Michigan, hey, what's up, man? I guess that would make you a Detroit fan. I don't know about you. I'll let it slide. It's not as long as you're a Chicago fan. I'll be okay with that. Ugh. Are you a Lions fan? I'm gonna guess. If you're a Lions fan, that's okay. I will tolerate a Lions fan in my chat. Just not a Chicago fan. I used to be when I was into sports. It's been a while. Oh, okay. Nothing wrong with that. Well, if you got out of sports, what are you into now? What really floats your boat right now? If it's not sports, what is it? What floats your boat? By the way, Hayden, how is your 2026 so far, by the way? Everybody that's sitting here watching, tell me how your 2026 is going so far. And where are you from? I'll let y'all know where I'm from. I'm from a place called Delmarva, Eastern Shore. It is a boring area. It's a boring region. It's encompassed by Delaware, Maryland, and Virginia. And it's filled with a bunch of old retired people. Oh, nice, dude. I actually went to my first football game this year. I went and watched the Giants and the Packers play. So it was a nice time to do. I gotta take my son. My son, unfortunately, is an Eagles fan. So there's that. So I gotta take him up to watch an Eagles game. But I really don't want to take him to the Eagles Stadium because people get a little too crazy up there. Ah, nice. What year was that? Was Matthew Stafford still the quarterback? This is the question. I don't know. Nowadays, I watch that. Stafford was a quarterback. Okay. I mean, back then, man, Stafford was a stud. He just got stuck in a bad organization with bad coaches. Detroit, I thought, always had a chance to be good. They just had really bad football culture until Dan Campbell stepped in. But, yeah, Stafford was a wasted talent in Detroit for a long time, which is sad because I mean, it's not too sad because he went and won a Super Bowl, but now he's got a shot to go back again. So, and the funny part was Detroit back then had a lot of great talent. It's just their coaching was awful, just ass for the longest time. Ugh. So what's your new hobby now? If it's not football, what's your new hobby? Calvin Johnson was ridiculous to watch as a receiver because the man literally could be triple coveraged, even quadruple coverage, and that ball was up there, he was gonna go get it. And he retired before his prime. Like, honest to God, dude, like, it's sad. And the reason why, he was just tired of playing in Detroit. He was tired of losing. Nice, dude. That's an awesome kind of hobby to have. Nothing wrong with that, dude. Sound systems and RC trucks. Oh, dude, I miss some of my older hobbies when I was a kid. Nowadays, I just try to find something to do when I'm just have free time. Most of the time, it's just I'll try to go kayak fishing, or I'll build something in my garage. It's usually what I try to do. A little free peace time, you know what I mean? So, Hayden, tell me, what's your goals for 2026? Oh, dude, winter's always depressing. What do you want to accomplish this year in 2026? Tell you what I want to accomplish. I want to get off my second shift role, get on first shift, so I can have a life. I hope I'm not bothering you. I haven't eaten for like half a day. So this is like what I'm eating, so I drive home. It's been a garbage. I quit my job at my grocery store, and I'm trying to scrape by. Light is on the other side. Buddy, it's gonna get better, I promise you. I promise you it's gonna get better. I don't know how old you are, but I'll give you a little backstory for myself. So, to give you an idea, I got married when I was 25 to my current wife. We've been together for, we met in 2012, so it's coming up on 14 years we've been together. We've been married for coming up 13. When we met, right, I worked as a jet ski guide, and I was going to grad school. Now my wife is from Bulgaria, so when we got married, we had to go through all the immigration stuff, and it was tough. There was a lot of like traveling back and forth. I had to put my career on hold while I was going through the immigration process with her, because I had to travel a lot, so I couldn't take a full-time job. Once my wife got here, unfortunately, we had started a business, and the business collapsed. So I lost everything. Every penny I had, everything we had made for the business was gone. And I think I had like $200 in my pocket. My credit score was like 510. But we worked our way out of that hole. And it took us 11 years to work out of that hole to now. Yeah, I'm on second shift now, but financially I'm stable. We have a beautiful son, a beautiful home. I take care of my in-laws from Europe, so those blessings will come. Just always remember to keep pushing through, keep driving forward. You're gonna find your way. You're gonna make it work. Let's see, you're in Michigan. So I would always tell you, if you ever have to get a job, you have a couple options, right, in your 20s. One, you can go work for the Postal Service. I worked the Postal Service for about three and a half years. It's good pay, but it's tough on the body. And I will tell you, if you're a little overweight, you'll lose a lot of weight, especially if you're a city carrier. And I'm pretty sure it's not going to be pleasant walking in the snow. Option B, and I'll give you a little hint to what you should try to do, is look into going into manufacturing. Now, I don't know what the manufacturing job market is in Michigan, but I know where I'm at, where I work at in Pennsylvania, is pretty good. The people that I work with and I manage, they make a lot of money. And I'll put it this way, I've got a kid that works in my department. He is 23 years old, and last year he cleared well over 6 figures working in pharma manufacturing. So I would look into what is open around your area, and if not, look to move, right? And it's scary to move, trust me, I know. But if you have the ability, look at other areas where you can get a role. If you can find a union job, you absolutely should try to go for that. You will make great money at a young age. Like I said, the young man that works in my department, I think he's 23 now, but he started out at our company at 19, and by his second year, he made, I think, like $120,000 to $130,000, and he's got a high school education. He doesn't have a college degree. He's, you know, that's one thing I'm gonna tell you. Look, I went through the whole college thing, and to be honest with you, college is a little bit of a scam nowadays. I think a lot of it's diploma mills. You're pushing out kids with degrees that aren't really relevant to the real world that you're working in. So my 100% recommendation, if you want to get a jump start in your life, either A, look for, you can work for the Postal Service. B, you can go look for farm and manufacturing. And finally, C, go work a trades job. Trade work will always be there. I grew up no collar and blue collar most of my life. And if I lost my job tomorrow, I know that I would still be able to go find something to go work. You said you're in Michigan, right? I'm trying to think of what's... How far is Minnesota from Michigan? I'm trying to think. Trade work means nothing if you don't know how to properly invest and save money. I absolutely agree. You should absolutely work to save money, but you have to make money, right? And if you're young, like Hayden, who's 20, right? If you don't have a ton of debt, save. Save and invest. I'll put it this way. The company I work for, right? People that work for the former company I work for usually will come in, they work a union job. Mind you, like I said, I have a young man that's in his, I think he's 23. Like I said, last year he cleared 120. But part of his benefits package, if he wants to go to college, the company will pay for him to go to college. Right? My company's sending me back to school. I'm currently going back to school to study biology and chemistry and business administration, and the company's paying for it. And I'm going to be honest with you, a lot of the people that I worked with started out with high school diplomas, right? There are great jobs out there. Sometimes you might have to do something you're not overly excited about, but I guarantee you will find a job that'll pay you very well. And I'm totally for the idea, if you want to go into ad sales or sales management, that's very possible, very doable, right? I would always tell you, right, find yourself a very good, stable job, but don't only rely on that one job. Find other sources of income to make money. Outside of what I do for work, I have my own business. I sell, I resell, I build, I do carpentry work. I find ways to make money that I can then put into other things and invest into. So bottom line, I will tell you this. Find yourself a good job that pays you well, right? And then when you have free time, don't sit there and doom scroll. Don't sit there and look for the easy money, because in all honesty, easy money sounds like it's like there's so much shit on Instagram and so much shit on YouTube where they'll be like, oh, well, if you do this for 20 hours a week, you'll make $10,000 a month. Half that shit is bullshit, where they're trying to sell you a course. The other half is the long shot. Find something you're good at, market it, and sell it. Bottom line. Firefighting is also a great job, and it is a valiant thing to do. And I agree. Finding that way to make money on your own is definitely worth it. Always have that safety net. Don't just, like I said just now, don't just rely on that one job. That one job may be gone tomorrow. Have the ability to have other sources of income. I do that myself. I've been doing that for most of my life. I've hustled. Oh, I'm absolutely open-minded. But I want to tell you right now, I have lived a very tough life. And I will always sit here and try to give people the best advice not to go through some of the shit I had to do. All right? Let me tell you something. It's very humbling when you are newlywed. Your wife just got over to the United States after you went through 3 years of immigration processing. And you have to tell your wife, hey, our business collapsed. We have nothing. And then I have to move my family into my parents' home with a baby on the way. And this is how bad it was for me at that point in my life. I worked 3 jobs at that time. I ended up, we were flat broke, at $200 to my name, and my credit score is about 510. I ended up getting 3 jobs. The first job I got, I ended up being a foreman for a landscaping company, and we laid pavers and built a lot of, like, I'm trying to think of what it's called. Built a lot of patios. We did a lot of pools. We did a lot of, like, pergolas and stuff. So I did that. Then I also drove a cab before Uber got big in a beach town. And then I delivered pizzas. I did that for 2 years. I worked an average of 110 hours a week, just so I could try to provide the best life I could for my wife and my child. Then I worked Uber, which I did nonstop, because from all 3 of those jobs, I ended up doing Uber. I ended up making enough money that it beat all 3 of those. So I did Uber for like 2 years, got really fat and unhealthy. And then I found a job with the United States Postal Service. I ended up losing a shit ton of weight. I lost 70 pounds in 3 months walking so much for the Postal Service. But I did that for 3 years, and then I went to go work for a pharmaceutical company as an operations tech. And that company has given me the opportunity to grow my career. And in 3 years, I went from the bottom of the company in operations all the way up to management, right? Where I am now. But I have always believed in the mindset of, like, you should have skills outside of your current job and the ability to make money outside of your current job. So I have a business. I resell, or I build stuff on the side. Right now, if you go on my Instagram, you'll see a mini golf holes that I build. I build those custom for people, sell them, and give them out to people. So it's one of those things that I will always tell people. There's going to be tough times. It's really based on how you get up when you get knocked down. Let's see. Hard times breed strong men. Absolutely. Hello. I'm glad found people that are not self-centered. One of the things I like about what I do here on YouTube and I live stream is I like to have great conversation with people, and I just want to hear people's stories. I want to talk to you. I just want to see what's going on. If I can help you, I am absolutely going to help you. I believe in the idea of passing it forward. So if you feel like you need somebody to talk to or chat about or need advice on something, I'll give you the best advice I can. That's the thing I want to do. The internet is full of very disgusting people, absolutely. So my commute to and from work is 2 hours. I drive 2 hours up and I drive 2 hours down. And I made sacrifices over the past 2.5 years for my family. I live in one state, but I work in another. My house is in another state, and then I live part-time up here in Pennsylvania 5 days a week from April to October or November, 5 days a week. So I don't get to see my family as much. But I do that because my company promoted me and gave me opportunity to grow. So I make the most of my time, which isn't a lot, but the free time I have, I make sure I spend it with my family, and I spend it on improving myself. So little Pete, nice. I mean, I like Pennsylvania. I'm not a big fan of the astronomical amount of taxes people pay up here. But what are you gonna do? Government's gonna government. They're gonna bend you over one way or the other to get that money from you. Well, there's a give and take for Florida, right? So Florida doesn't have any income taxes, so you're not taxed on what you make. However, they have higher sales tax, and they have very high property taxes. Now I know their governor talked about, pushing to remove their property taxes. But whether or not that happens, I don't know. I think property taxes is a big fucking scam. And I'll tell you why. Because in my home state where I grew up in Delaware, right? Delaware has some of the lowest property taxes in the country, right? And just to give you an idea, up in Pennsylvania, if you want to buy a house, right, you're going to have property taxes and school taxes. Property taxes, depending on where you are, can cost you anywhere from $5,000 to $8,000, and school taxes can cost you anywhere from $3,000 to $7,000, right, a year. Now that usually gets rolled into your mortgage. In Delaware, when I bought my house, I paid $430 a year in property taxes. And that property tax went to the schools. And Delaware schools are not bad schools. They're relatively good schools. So you're not going to tell me that, well, the more you pay in property taxes, the more it goes to your schools. No, what usually ends up happening, the more you pay in taxes, the more the government wastes on bullshit that nobody gives a damn about. Honest to God, people that are in the government, whether it's your local government or whether it's the federal government, are basically teenagers who got a hold of their parents' credit card and are racking up a shit ton of bills that they know they're not going to pay back, and they're just going to expect you to pay it. So, in the end, you got to find the best state that's going to provide you the best life, cost of living, right? And it isn't going to bend you over for every penny you make. So New York is out. And California, as much as California is very nice and people do make money there, California is out because they literally tax you to death. I tell you a solid state if you want to say, you know what, I'm going to pack up and I'm going to move and I'm going to do something. If I was going to do that, if I was 20 and I said, you know what, I don't have any responsibilities, I don't have any connections except my family back in Michigan, this is what I would do. I'd go ahead and look at going to North Carolina. Why North Carolina? Number one, Durham and Raleigh. Durham and Raleigh are the research triangle. They are the largest booming area for tech companies, pharma companies, manufacturing, everything. The jobs pay very well down there. And the fun part is, in that area, companies compete to keep workers, right? Because down there, they have to. There's so many companies down there that provide so many perks for their employees that entice them to stay, that it's a very interesting market, because it's not, in certain areas, like where I grew up in Delaware, there's not a whole lot of jobs, right? So most of the time you get a job, people act like assholes, like, where the hell are you going to go work and make money? Whereas in Durham, it's Durham and Raleigh in North Carolina, it's like, well, shit, this person's really good at their job. And if we're not careful, they're going to go run off to our competitor right down the road and get paid 30% more. So if I were you, like if I'm starting my life and I'm 20, I don't know if you've got a boyfriend, a girlfriend, whatever, right? If you don't have any connections where you're at, and you say, you know what, I want to start my life, I want to start somewhere new, where I would go would be Durham or Raleigh, North Carolina, or Charlotte. Because North Carolina is one of the fastest growing states. It's got one of the fastest growing job markets. In fact, I think it's outpacing Texas now. So, and property taxes in North Carolina are relatively good. The cost of living is very good. And I will say this about Durham. Durham is probably one of the cleanest cities I have ever been in my life. I get it, right? You get onto stuff that you feel like is that crutch, right? And a lot of people, they get on weed, or they get on drinking, or they get on cigarettes, and they find that crutch, right? I know for me, for a long time, cigarettes was a big crutch for me. I used to smoke like 3 packs a day of cigarettes. And then I got to a point around January 3rd, 2020. I just got done being sick, and I remember taking a drag of a cigarette. This is back when I worked for the post office, and I felt like my lungs were like being just dragged, like somebody grabbed a hold of my lungs and pulled. And I realized that, one, this shit's either going to kill me or it's going to drive me nuts. And two, it really was a crutch for my problems, like the stress and the frustration and the anger. So I got off of it. Now for you, weed's different, right? It probably chilled you out, mellowed you out, but it was probably that comfort that it gave you of like the stress that you have and the frustrations you have, and you felt like that was your escape, if I had to guess, right? So quitting that, finding that crutch and quitting it, and saying, you know what, I want to change my life, I want to do something different, I want to do something better. That's the first step of improving yourself. I see a lot of people that do the whole guru thing and like, oh, this is what you got to do, and this is how you make your life better, blah, blah, blah. They don't tell you that it is a step-by-step process that can take years to really get to your best version of yourself, right? Hell, I'll tell you, I'm not even close to the best version of myself, but I'm trying to be the best version of myself, right? And every step forward is a step forward in the right direction is what you got to think of. Even if it's a small step. And for you, quitting weed, if that's that one thing, that one step that you need to start taking in order to feel like, I want to make a change for the better, then make that one step. Even if it feels like it's not a big step, make that step. Because that's how in life you're going to actually make things happen for yourself, right? There's a lot of people I know that for the longest time did the whole blame game, or they used something that was a crutch to kind of get through their problems. And don't get me wrong, there's a lot of trauma out there, and I've had a fair share of my own. But I know that when it came to certain things that I was leaning on in order to deal with those problems, I had to take the step and say, I've got to make a change that's going to better my life. Like this gentleman that is in front of me who is swerving all over the road. Wonderful. I love drunk people. I gotta get past you, dude. I don't trust you. I feel like you're gonna fucking sideswipe somebody, so I'm gonna get past you right now. Good Lord, man. That's one of the dumbest things sometimes. Watching somebody who obviously has been drinking heavily and damn. They're making a risk with their life and people's other lives. That's the unfortunate part. It's one of the things I get frustrated most about with people when they go drink and then they want to drive. I'm like, why? Like, oh, well, I'm not hurting anybody. No. You may think you're not hurting somebody now, and you may have gotten away with drinking and driving in the past. But it's going to take that one moment where you lose control, and not only do you hurt yourself, but you kill somebody else. You've taken somebody else's life away from them. Agitates me very much. All I'm going to do is just pray that he gets home safe and doesn't hurt anybody. And I hope that he wakes up in the morning and has an epiphany of what he did. Take that step forward there, Hayden. You're going to knock it out of the park. Take 2026 and focus on what you want to accomplish this year. I understand that. I used to hunt. I don't hunt anymore, and it's not because I feel bad when I hunt. It's just I don't particularly care overly too much. But the way I'll put it this way, right? If you're doing something that didn't make you feel good about what you were doing, then you shouldn't do it, right? Only do things that you know are going to be beneficial for yourself and for those that you care about, right? And if hunting was that one thing that just kind of wasn't doing it for you, or you just felt off or wrong, then you moved on. And don't regret some of the choices that you've done in your life, right? Choices end up leading you to the path of which you need to go. We're gonna make mistakes. We're gonna screw up, right? But everything that you do in your life is leading you down a path in which is going to make you the way you want to be. Should have been a therapist? No. I'd be too much of an asshole sometimes for that. For me, the way I look at things in my life, I'll put it this way. For me, I like helping people. I like trying to help people, and I like talking to people. I get a real kind of like passion for it. And I'm not doing it out of some self-righteous bullshit. I actually honestly feel that we as a people and as a culture and as a species, we don't get better by putting people down. We don't get better by, you know, shitting on people, and we don't get better by holding things from people, because in some selfish way, if somebody else gets ahead of you, there's somehow now you're lesser than, which is silly to me, right? I have a philosophy at my job, right? I don't train people to be as good as me. I train them to be better than me, because innovation is not born by those who are trained to be as good as you. Innovation is born by those you train to be better than you. Because at some point, at some time in your life, you will be old and tired, and your abilities to do your job or your mental state of, in order to make change, is going to go. So the generations, after you are the people that are going to change the world, right? When you're long gone. And if you only train people to be as good as you, then they'll never think like, well, I'm just as good as this person here. I don't think it can be any better than him. Or I feel like he did so much for me, I don't want to be better than this person. And that breeds this mentality of like mediocrity down the line. Whereas people should be like, no, I want you to be better than me. I want you to do your job better than me. You're not taking my job away. What I'm doing is I'm making you better. So one day when I leave, I punch my last ticket and I'm saying, I'm out of here. You are going to take the things that I did and make it better. Broken Pictures, what's up, dude? It's possible, yeah. I know with certain things, with addictions, sometimes the best thing to do is destroy those addictions we have, right? I know I have a fair amount of things that drag me down. Like I said, I was addicted to smoking. I smoked 3 packs a day at one point in my life. And then, hell, I was a borderline alcoholic when I was in my 20s. I would drink. When I was in college, my undergrad and in my grad school, before I met my wife, I used to drink a case of 30 beers by myself. Then I would go to the bar. I'd continue the drink, get obliterated, do stupid shit, get into trouble, and I leaned on that kind of like this is the life I want to live. I want to do weird and stupid shit. And I'll be honest, like if I hadn't met my wife when I did, I probably would be dead or in jail. Chilling in bed. Got the sick. Oh, dude, that sucks. I think sometimes the way I look at it is God puts things in your path for you to go, and sometimes remove things from your life that you shouldn't be, like people, right? Don't get me wrong, you should bring love as much as you can to some people, or to everybody, but there will be some people that will intentionally try to bring you down and not let you climb, right? And or there are people in your life that are, you care about a lot, but you know that them being with you is not the best for them. And sometimes you have to let those people go, right? Now let's see, it's 2:34 in the morning for me. I'm headed home right now. I'm headed home. Well, Broken Pictures, man, I hope you're going to feel better soon, dude. Hopefully it's nothing too bad. You're going to be vomiting everywhere. the doctor's note. The get out of work free card. Oh, yeah. Hayden, I think you're going to do great things, but you're young, you're 20. God, I remember when I was 20, dude. I was a dumb kid. But I think you're going to go on to do great things. And I think the big thing for you to focus on is take that step forward that you know you need to take in order to get to where you want to be. Life's a journey, right? And I had this kind of like philosophical idea that I always laugh when people talk to me. It's like, oh, so you think God has predetermined like your whole life? I put it this way. I think life is like a tree, right? And we all start at the roots of the tree, right? And we move from the base of the tree up to the branches. And our choices in life lead to different branch offs, right? But the goal is there is the tippy top of that tree. And that's where you want to be. That's where you're destined to be, right? But it doesn't mean that if you don't reach the tippy top of that tree that you failed in life. No, because the branches always keep going up. But don't get me wrong, there are bad choices you can make where the branches go down, right? So the goal in life is not to be perfect. The goal in life is just keep moving forward, keep moving up, and try to be the best version of yourself. Yeah, man. I buried my mom 3 years ago. And I think about my mom every day. And I hate to admit that, right? Because, you know, when I was younger, when my mom was alive, I was like, oh, well, I'll call my mom back, or I'll talk to my mom later. And I look back at that, I'm like, I really wish I'd make those calls more. I really wish I had spent more time talking to her, because now I don't. So I don't see her anymore. Don't get to talk to her anymore. So one thing I'll always tell people, like, don't sit there and put that call or that meet up or whatever for the next day or tomorrow, because tomorrow's not guaranteed, right? It's not guaranteed for you. It's not guaranteed for me. It's not guaranteed for anybody. I could be driving home now, and then all of a sudden, it's gone. Yeah. And it was a tough time just to go through that. I will tell you that. So, I'll tell you this, bud. 100%. If your parents are still in your life, take that time to at least tell them thank you. You may not be in the best relationship with your parents, and I know back when I was in my early 20s, I didn't have the best relationship with my mom and my dad. I didn't talk to them for like a year and a half. But take the time just to be like, you know, we may not see everything at the same page, but I love you guys. You gave me life. Life's short, man. We are on this blue ball we call Earth for an instantaneous second in the grand scheme of things, right? Oh, absolutely, dude. I've been through a couple of them. A couple of like straight times where I was just full on depressed. I almost committed suicide when I was about 15. I tried to hang myself, and it really was a point where I was ready just to go. And I just remember hearing a voice saying, it's not your time. It's not your time. You need things to do. You have things to do. And I stopped. I had a moment of where I was like, oh, what am I doing? Right? I was sitting there ready to just let it go and be done with life. And I just heard someone or something just tell me it's not your time. And I'm glad I did. Because I have a beautiful wife, I have a beautiful son. You know, I have a beautiful family. I have many nieces and nephews. I have 2 older brothers. So I'm very blessed in the life I have. So I'm glad I didn't let the depression get to me that way. Yeah, I believe it was. I absolutely believe it was. I try to tell people I'm not perfect. I'm far from it. I will never be perfect. And I definitely haven't always been a good person. But I believe in the mentality of you can find your way to get out of the dark, right? We're all going to make mistakes. We're all going to do dumb things, right? And sometimes we're going to do things that we can't take back. And it's one of the moments of my life that I look back and I go, you know, no matter what was going on, and as a kid, I just remember I was going through a lot of just emotional points in my life. I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know what I wanted to do. I felt like everything in the world was just crashing around me and it wasn't worth living, right? And now I look back at it and I'm like, you know, I'm really glad I didn't do something foolish, because I wouldn't have the life I have now. And granted, it's not been perfect, and I'm not fully where I want to be, but I know I'm going to be. And if I had just ended it then, I wouldn't be going on the journey I am now. And I think that really is something important. I don't know, man. I think I can't tell you exactly when or what will happen in your life where you'll be spoken to, or where you'll feel something that tells you to, you know, find that way or that path, but it'll come, right? And it's not going to be, I always had discussions with buddies of mine that are atheists and agnostics. I'm like, well, why doesn't God just give you a sign? He should just give you a sign. God's not a genie. It's not a magic genie in a bottle where you just rub the lamp and it comes out and it grants wishes, right? I think we have moments in our life where we get shown something that maybe is not directly in your path, but you'll see it. Oh, we're not meant to be perfect. So I'll give you a little bit of my own philosophical and theological belief system, right? When God recreated the universe, and of course, there is some debate historically about the translation of the Old Testament. There is an argument that it's not God created, God remade or reforged the universe, right? So when God created Adam and Eve, or Adam in his own image and Eve, those were meant to be perfect, right? But the argument I've had is, well, if God, Why did they just decide to do whatever they wanted to, right? Why couldn't God just make them love him? And I'll put it this way, right? If you get a pet, you want that pet to love you. And I'm putting it in a terrible fashion, but if you have a child, I'll put it this way, you have a child, you don't want the child just to automatically just love you just because you exist, right? As a parent, you want to be a good parent, and you want your children to love you, right? And you love them no matter what. The unconditional love of your child. I'll tell you right now, the day my son was born, I looked at my son and I said, this is the best part of me, and I don't think I will ever create anything better than this, right? So, philosophically, right, God gives man free will. The free will to choose and do what is right and what is wrong, right? And God gave a simple rule, which was, do not eat from the tree of knowledge, okay? Now, Adam and Eve were deceived. They made their free will choice of eating from the tree of knowledge, right? And we were struck out of the Garden of Eden to live the life of mortals, okay? So, because of that first initial sin, we are tainted because of that. Jesus is the sacrifice to allow us to enter into the kingdom of God, right? He is that conduit between us and God Almighty, right? He is the sacrifice in which to absolve our sins. And only through Christ can we make it into heaven. You are not meant to be perfect, right? You can never be perfect, but you can seek to be better, and you can seek salvation through Christ, because Christ was perfect. If that makes sense. Hey, Harley Quinn, what's up? I appreciate that. Just sitting here chatting with people as I'm driving home from work. Having a nice, long, philosophical conversation with people on here. Say hi to Hayden. Say hi to Bullet. Say hi to Broken Productions. Just great conversation, guys. I love it. It's great. You guys are fantastic. I always enjoy these nice, chill, philosophical, or just nice conversation with people. It's great. It's what I love when I'm driving home. Lord of mercy. Well, thank you, Hayden. I appreciate that. Hopefully I'm being a little bit of a positive and light influence in your life, and hopefully I'm gonna, help you get to where you can be, where I know you can be. Yeah, I try to do it a couple times a week when I'm driving, and then I stream games a couple times a week. I used to try to do it a lot, but because of my hectic schedule as of late, I haven't been able to be as involved as I wanted to. It's the unfortunate part of when, you know, you have a family, you have a full-time job, you have a business, you're going to school. Like, I juggle probably like 6 things at once. So it's a little mind-boggling sometimes how I'm able to get all that and still do what I'm doing. But for me, doing these live streams has been really great with dealing some of the stress I've had in my life recently. So this is kind of like a therapy, if I had to be honest. My good brother, go for it. Don't be scared. Just go out there and do it. You may not be the best at it, but it doesn't hurt to try. And trust me, some of the stuff that is on YouTube, if you're going out there to play a little guitar, honest to God, it'd be better than, I would say, about 90% of the stuff that shows up on YouTube at the time. Because I don't know how many times I've flipped through live streams and I've just seen the most weird stuff, and I'm just like, you have 3,000 people watching you as you say ooh woo. Okay, I mean, whatever floats your boat, I guess. But that's one of those things, man. If you want to go out there and play guitar and enjoy doing it, and Nevada fan, oh dude. Oh, my nose. Nirvana fan, dude? Yeah, absolutely. Go for it. Yeah, unfortunately, a lot of stuff out there that's just not great. Oh, yeah. I'm almost, well, not almost home, but I'm getting closer. Yeah. Acts of lust, acts of anger or wrath can really make you do stupid things. 100%. Make you make bad choices. That's for sure. There's no denying that fact. Hayden, this has been a phenomenal conversation. I really enjoy having these nice long chats with people. And it's always new. It's always somebody that has something they want to maybe talk about or get off their chest, or just something they're entertained about. And I love doing it. Absolutely, man. I play Fortnite. Oh, I play Fortnite with my son. So if you go on my channel, you'll see a stream from, I think, this past week, me and him playing Fortnite. So I wouldn't say relatively. He's really good at Fortnite. I struggle more with it, so that's his game to go for. That and Roblox. So I stream from time to time with him. The reason why I got into doing streaming and doing that was initially because my son missed me. Like I said, I live 5 days a week from April to the end of October. So my son doesn't get to see me until like the weekend. And he was like, Dad, I want you to just do YouTube and do Twitch and stream so you can get rich and you can live at home, which is a reality. But I told him, I said, you know what, buddy, I'll do it for you so you can watch Dad play games and laugh and joke and have fun. So I started doing it for him, and I just kind of got in here to just talk to people now. And when I stream games, I try to stream with him, or I stream games so he can watch me stream. Why are you riding my booty? Dude, Jesus, chill. So I'll play Fortnite with my son, but my unfortunate addiction to games is League of Legends. That's the game that I got hooked on really bad from, and I've been playing that since it came out. So that's been what, 2009. So yeah, no, 2010 is when I started. Like right at the beginning of League. I had not stopped playing that game. It's ridiculous. I'm not proud of it. Not proud of it at all. Be honest, being hungry and having nice tortilla corn chips for some reason hits the spot. Can't beat it. Game that makes me have the most nostalgia ever. Actually, two. Excuse me. Oof. Is The Legend of Zelda Super Nintendo Edition. What is it? Legend of Zelda Link to the Past, I think it is. Or Ocarina of Time. I can't remember, God. But Legend of Zelda from Super Nintendo and Halo, the original, and Halo 3. I liked Halo 2, but Halo 3 was my fucking go-to when I was young. God, I loved it. Oh no, dude, I don't need anything. I can eat it with whatever. I could go for a 3-layered buffalo dip right now. like shredded chicken, like melted cheese, and buffalo sauce. I could kill for that right now. You know what? I'm going to give that a shot. It sounds actually pretty good. The purple Doritos with the mild cheese dip. I'll give that a shot. Can't go wrong with the blue Doritos. Absolutely. Whew. Man, how far am I from home? Very close. A little closer. Oh boy. I can't wait to get home. I'm off the next 2 days. I gotta deliver those holes I built for my customer. Which sucks because I had to drive 2 hours up there and then 2 hours back. So that sucks, but at least I'm off tomorrow. And then Friday, I'm off. And I get to go see my son's belt test for karate. Oh, man. And then I'm going to prepare for Snowmageddon after I pick my wife up from the airport. Whew. Man, I'm going to have a heck of a weekend. That's for sure. All right. All right, Hayden. I think I'm going to call it a night. Like, how many cars do you go through? Seems a lot of miles. So, funny enough, before I call it a night, I have 4 vehicles. And I have had the same 4 vehicles pretty much for the last... Like, my newest vehicle is this one I'm driving right now. And we've had it for 2.5 years, I guess. And then the next one is been 5 years. No, the next one's been 4. Is it 4 or is it 4 or 5 years? And then the other one's been 4 or 5 years. And then we have a Dodge that we've had since 2016. So I try to keep my vehicles running, and I'm running them until the wheels fall off. I don't believe in the idea of you constantly going out and getting new cars or new phones or things like that. The iPhone that I'm streaming on, it's an iPhone 12, I think. And the one I had before that was, I want to say, an iPhone X. And then the one before I had that was an iPhone 6S Plus. So I'm a very frugal man about replacing things. I'd rather keep something running and keep it running until it can't run no more, and then I'll go look for something. Damn. Well, like I was saying, Hayden, I'm gonna call it a stream. I want to say thanks for sticking around, chatting with me. I also want to tell you, you're going to go on to do great things, man. Focus on being the best part of you. Make the steps you need to make for yourself. And don't let anybody tell you you can't. I hope you're going to have a great weekend. And I hope you're going to have a great 2026. And I hope to see you on the next one, where you're going to tell me you've accomplished your dreams, and you've gotten your dream job, or you're starting your dream life. So, good luck to you, sir. I'll see you on the next one. Peace out. Remember, keep it camping. See ya.